everyone. My name is Alex Bynum. Thanks so much for being on the webinar tonight. The webinar is your spiritual wake-up call, and we're going to be talking about all things Empower Thyself initiation. So I want to give a thank you to Ken Corse, who helped me to set up this presentation tonight. And if you feel like commenting or you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to reach out and just comment below. And as I see them, I will respond. So, okay, all right, great. So let's get started. So I've prepared a nice PowerPoint for all of you. So this is your spiritual wake-up call, Empower Thyself initiation. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. That's a picture in the background of my last initiation class. And so let's just get into it. So here we go. So why am I talking about this tonight? Why did I want to do a webinar? What is this all about? Well, here's the thing. Over the past few months, I've seen more and more women come into my practice. And men, if you're watching, I welcome you too. But I've seen a lot of women lately, and they're coming in. And they're saying, you know what, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Maybe this resonates for you with my finances or, with my relationship status. Like I know that, this life is finite. Like this life, we only get this one life. And I feel like I'm running out of time. And so seeing this, I really wanted to talk about it because it just breaks my heart when there are solutions available. And so if you're one of those people that feel like you're running out of time, this is probably a great webinar for you tonight. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. So I'm going to move this here. So who am I? Maybe you've seen me at Whole Foods or you've kind of seen me around. But my name is Alex Bynum, and I'm the founder of Empower You, a healing center for women. It's located in Brookline. Maybe you've been there, maybe you haven't. I work as a professional healer, a master networker in the Boston area, and I'm also a spiritual guide in the lineage of King Solomon, which we'll be talking about more tonight. I have a podcast. It's called the Empower You Podcast, that where I've interviewed lots of women around the city, and as well as lead meditations. And I also have some established relationships with State Street, Whole Foods, as I've mentioned, Arbella Insurance, Lululemon, Boston Speaks, etc. So that's who I am, and let's keep going. So my goal with this webinar, as we kind of talked about, and the purpose of this training, is that there is literally a way to stop this feeling of running out of time right now and to get out of your own way, right? What is possible when you get out of your own way? So that's my goal. That's what I want to talk about tonight. And I also have a disclaimer for you. So this webinar, even if it's the most awesome webinar you've ever seen, isn't going to be a substitute for doing the actual work of getting out of your own way. So I'm just introducing concepts. I'm introducing what is initiation tonight, but you actually have to go through the process to get results. So I have a question for you. Where are you struggling? Is it in your intimate relationships? Is it with your finances? Is it with your spirituality? So, like I was kind of saying before, whether it's in your personal relationships, your finances, your spirituality, people are flat out struggling to get out of their own way and to create the life that they so badly want to live, right? And this seems to be that problem of being stuck, and that problem of feeling like you're running out of time. So, where are you struggling? But before we can go any further, we have to talk about, for the purposes of this session, what does struggle mean? So, for the purposes of tonight, to struggle means to repeat the same patterns or to be stuck and not growing. So, where are you stuck and not growing? Where are you struggling? So, how do we heal then? So, we know this about ourselves. We know that we're stuck. We know that we're having trouble getting out of our own way. Well, I've got really great news for you because there is an ancient pathway that's been around for thousands of years. So, it's withstood the test of time. And this ancient pathway is here to help you to get out of your own way. And I often talk about some of the people that have used this pathway to get out of their own way, because I think it's really relevant and important to hear these names like JFK and Mother Teresa and, David Bowie and Da Vinci and Einstein and Walt Disney, the Beatles. It's like, how did those people become who they became? Well, they got out of their own way, right? And they were able to share their light and their greatness with the world. So this is part of their journey, this pathway that they used to get out of their own way, which is available to you as well. So what is the name of this ancient pathway? Well, it's the Empower Thyself initiation. So before we go any further, let's talk about what initiation isn't. So like I was saying, initiation is not a new trend. It's not something I invented. It's not like a cool concept. It's something that's been around and withstood the test of time. So it's been around for 3,000 years. Initiation isn't a way to avoid your problems. So, unfortunately, yes, you do have to go through. The way out is through, but it is a way to actually stand in your power and, deal with and actually embrace your problems and your struggles to be able to get out of your own way. Initiation doesn't add anything to you. So we'll talk about this more in the next slide, but we're not adding anything. You're not really joining anything. You're just joining yourself. And I'll talk more about what that means, but there's nothing that's being added to you. It's just removing what isn't really you in the first place. And also, I love seminars. Seminars are great, but initiation is not a seminar. It's not a seminar company. It's kind of its own unique thing. And those of you that are watching that are initiated can probably agree with that. It's its own 2-day thing. So here's what initiation is then. So initiation is a beginning. So, after you're initiated, it's a beginning of a new way of life. It's a new way of having tools and teachings to be able to get out of your own way and to really face the things that are holding you back. So it's definitely a beginning for many people. It's also a cutting away, so we just talked about that a little bit. So again, we're not adding anything to you. We're just cutting away what isn't really you in the first place. So, getting back to that authentic you is the goal of initiation. Getting back to the reminder that you are the light. Initiation comes with an inner knowing. So it's a leap of faith. You've reached a point in your life where you're humble enough to know, hey, I'm going to need assistance to get out of my own way. And, a lot of people are looking and searching and they're like, how am I going to find the tools to get out of my own way? Which is why I'm introducing this ancient pathway tonight. Initiation is also a way of really serving yourself and the world, because the more you can get out of your own way, right, the more you can help other people. And the more that you can be in your joy, the more that you can help to spread that joy to other people. So if you're someone that really deeply cares about the world, I would offer you initiation as an answer to your prayers, because it's a way of really helping by starting with yourself. And then finally, initiation is also a badass life hack. So I actually got that from someone that's initiated. And they're like, wow, it's like playing a video game and having some cheats on hand. So it's a life hack because it gives you the tools, right? Again, to get out of your own way. So some of you watching may be life activated already, or you've heard me talk about life activation, or you're kind of like, what is this thing? So, the first step on this journey is something called life activation. And life activation brings a lot more light to you and activates your DNA. I'll be doing a webinar on those two things later. But for right now, it's if you are life activated or you've heard about it, that's included in this process as well. There's also something called spirit activation. And spirit activation really works with your emotions and with your decision-making process. So spirit activation is also something that you've probably heard me talk about before, and it also is part of the journey that a lot of people use as well. But here's the thing. So initiation is really that foundational piece, and it's where you actually anchor your power here, and you learn the tools to do so every single day. So you wake up in the morning and you have tools every single day to get out of your own way, to face your challenges. That's why it's considered a life hack, right? You use those tools and now you're standing in your power and you're ready to face the day. So why initiation? So we're going to go through a series of points now I want to share with you. This is like, what are you actually going to receive from initiation? Let me move this right here for you all. There we go. Okay. So this is what you'll actually receive from initiation. So 10 times more light to use to direct towards your goals and your dreams. So I think the best way to explain what I'm talking about is to give you a case study, actually. So here's our case study. So I just used random names to assist us tonight, so as not to give away personal information. But these are people I've actually worked with. So we're just going to say Jane. And, now Jane has 10 times more light. So let's just say when I met Jane, she had always wanted to travel the world. And she also wanted a job working in nature. So before initiation, Jane was what we're talking about tonight. She was stuck. She couldn't get out of her own way. She worked in a cubicle job she didn't like in Waltham and really wanted to see the world. And then Jane got initiated, and Jane has only been initiated for 6 months, I believe. And so after, initiation, I followed up with Jane. Well, it turns out Jane had taken one trip to South America and then another trip to Europe. And, Jane called me, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she moved to Denver and she's working as a park ranger, right? So this all happened within a span of 6 months. So that, to me, is amazing. And that's what you can do with 10 times more light to direct towards your goals, to direct towards your dreams. So, and then I added some testimonials real quick. So this is my love, Athena. Athena was so kind to let me use a testimonial. I met Athena at Whole Foods, I think sometime last year, and Athena got initiated. And as you can see from the testimonial, she's saying it opened a door to some of the deepest and most rewarding spiritual growth and understanding of herself and her purpose that she's ever experienced. So, Athena, I'm going to brag about her because she doesn't brag about herself enough. She co-wrote a song on a Grammy Award-winning album. Athena's amazing. And being initiated really helped her to go deeper with herself and using that 10 times the light towards her goals and dreams. So, see if okay. So, second point tonight. So here's where we talk about the tools. So your second thing that you will receive if you choose to do initiation are you'll have daily rituals to connect you to your truth and to your power, to embody that potential. And so again, I want to share another client that I worked with, whose name we will make up for the purposes of this session. So let me just move this again for you guys. There we go. Okay, so let's say Susie. So before initiation, now we're going more into the relationship piece because I work with a lot of people who struggle in their intimate relationships. So when I met Susie, she was in a really not great situation with her boyfriend. She had to call the police on her boyfriend, file a restraining order, not a good situation. And so she found healing work because, she was hurting from this situation. Well, I'm happy to report that Susie dumped her then boyfriend, and she's now happily married to someone she met online. And Susie began this journey about 2 years ago. So, within 2 years, Susie completely transformed her intimate relationships. And then I wanted to share another case study quickly. Heather, for the purposes of this session. So Heather came to me because she had been on again and off again with her boyfriend of 10 years. And Heather literally got initiated not that long ago, just a couple of months ago. And she's already left and ended that relationship with that on again, off again boyfriend using the rituals that she learned during initiation. So maybe this resonates with some of you all. I know a lot of people struggle in this area. So now it's testimonial time. Sophia is amazing. I love Sophia. And Sophia and I began working together, I don't know, maybe a year ago or something like that. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And she says that her experience with initiation is one that will remain vivid. It has allowed her to grasp the tools to take ownership of her own healing. So again, having the tools to really take ownership of your life. So Sophia, if you're watching, thank you for sharing that testimonial with us. And I know Sophia, she really appreciates this work, and she has a deep respect for this lineage and the ability to even be initiated, which is such a gift. All right, so I'll slow down a little bit. Let's get to the third point. I'm learning how to do tech tonight, so I apologize for the back and forth. All right, moving my camera here. So number 3, people love this about initiation. Actually, people get initiated just for this reason. So my empaths that are watching, people that are watching that are sensitive to energy, which I believe we all are on some level, but if you feel super sensitive to energy, a lot of people choose to get initiated to protect their energy field. So let's go into a case study on this one. As soon as I figure out the slide. There we go. All right. So we're going to talk about Lily. And so Lily was a client that never quite felt right before initiation. She had a very stressful job. So she was working as a therapist. And working as a therapist, she would take on these heavy clients, with heavy situations. And so that would drain her energy field. So then Lily was feeling super stressed out all the time. So Lily got initiated, and then Lily found the courage to quit her job and get a better one that was less draining and more supportive. And now she wants to open her own therapeutic practice and not work for someone else. And Lily got initiated not even a year ago. So as I'm saying, with 10 times more light and these tools and protecting your energy field, you can make some advances in your life very quickly. So now it is testimonial time. So here we go. So here's lovely Christina. If you're watching, hi, Christina. Christina and I have known each other for a very long time. She might be one of the people that knew me before I started any of this work. And Christina saw my personal journey and was like, oh my gosh, Alex, you're actually in your body and grounded and able to talk to people. So she wanted to get initiated. And, she's done a lot of healing work. So initiation was a natural fit. And it was a continuation of the journey she had been on. And so you can see that she says she felt transformed from a place of self-doubt and worry to an inner calm and knowing that the light was supporting her. She highly recommends initiation to everyone. So, I love being able to go back and chat with people that I've known for a long time because, we're able to see each other's growth. And I think that's also a powerful point that happens in initiation is when you can, see the changes in someone really quickly, but changes in terms of them just being who they are and not really tolerating what's not working for them anymore. So I've got one more point for you tonight. So let's get to our last point. It is point number 4. So after you're initiated, you will have a strong foundation for handling challenges and obstacles that come up in your life. So we got one more case study of a client that I've worked with. So this one I named Annie just because. So Annie's an older client of mine, and when I met her, she was really struggling. She was in and out of the emergency room with lots of stomach and digestive issues and things like that. So Annie, she could barely make it to her college classes. She was terribly depressed about life, not knowing where this is going, just feeling sick all of the time. So Annie has been initiated for a while. She's been initiated for 2 years. And now you can find Annie. She's studying for her master's degree in Europe. And, she wakes up every day. She has a healthy body. Her health does not weigh her down. So what I want to say with that as well is that, initiation, I'm not claiming that it cures anything or anything like that. But what I am saying is a lot of times, if there's a spiritual problem, a lot of times it can help with a physical condition. So in Annie's case, this was the case, and now she's kicking ass and doing what she needs to do and feeling great about life. Okay, so testimonial time. Oh, it's Corinne. Hi, Corinne. So Corinne wrote a beautiful testimonial I just want to share with you really quickly. She says it was one of the best decisions that she ever made. She was hesitant to take the class, but it paid for itself more within the first several months after the course. She loves the rituals, her relationships she thought could not shift in any way became positive. Corinne and I have known each other not that long, for a while, maybe less than a year. And, we would talk back and forth, and she would just tell me about all these things she was manifesting, which is really cool. And she says it's one of the greatest gifts that you can give to yourself. So thank you, Corinne, if you're watching, for that beautiful testimonial. All right, so we're going to keep going. We're done with our case studies. And we're done with our testimonials. So, what will you receive from initiation? One more time. So, again, 10 times more light to direct towards your goals and your dreams. We talked about that. We had the case study of Jane that traveled, she's traveling the world and she's already moved and pursuing what she always wanted to do. Daily rituals to connect you to your truth. So using rituals to heal relationships, using rituals to anchor your power in, protection of your energy field if you feel drained at your job, if you feel like you just take on other people's stuff all the time. I was a classic example of this where I really wanted help in that area. Protection of your energy field is one thing that you receive from initiation, just one of the things you receive. And lastly, another point I'm bringing up tonight is the strong foundation for handling challenges and obstacles that come up in your life. Let's keep going. So, in that case, what would more light mean in your life? So, I am saying that, it is possible to have the life that you want. It is possible to have healthy relationships. I've been initiated, I think, for about 5 years now, which isn't that long, just 5 years, and my relationships are so different than they used to be. It is possible, you read those case studies where it really is possible to have healthier relationships. You can have a stronger connection to yourself. As I mentioned below on the slide, the more inside work you do, the more it shows up in your outside world. So by doing the initiation and working on yourself, it's going to show up in your environment. And also, it's possible to have the focus and the energy to reach your goals. A lot of times people get lost in like their personality, or they get lost in the drama of what's going on during that day. And it's like, you can literally still have that stuff going on and still get out of your own way and push forward and push, not have the goals be on the back burner, but rather the right in front of your face, and moving towards those goals. So it really is possible to get out of your own way. So I am part of a mission, and that mission is to help you to let go of what's not working for you, right? We all have things that aren't working for us. What is not working for you, so that you can be in your joy. And the more joy that you're in, the more you're going to spread that to a world that really needs it right now. So, there is a way to let go of what's not working for you. So what are you going to get if you sign up for initiation? Well, it's a full 2-day training. So it's a full 2-day Empower Thyself initiation training. There's only so much I can say about it on here, but I'm doing my best to share what happens, or what's within that training. So you're going to have guidance and support from myself, from the community, before, after, and during the training. Again, going back to our points tonight, you're going to have 10 times more light. You're going to receive the rituals. You're going to have that protection of your energy field. You're going to have a strong foundation for dealing with your challenges. And you're going to receive this holy, this sacred, this ancient initiation that's been on our planet for thousands of years. And it's like this incredible ceremony that's really, really beautiful at the end of the 2 days. If all Empower Thyself initiation does for you is gives you hope, or gets you out of that day-to-day rat race, or helps you leave one unfilling relationship, or opens maybe one new door for you, wouldn't that be worth it? So if all it does in your life is do that, which I'm pretty sure it will do more, but if that's all it does, just think about that. How much would that drastically affect your life? So, let me move this here. So tonight, what I'm offering is just an introduction to initiation. So all we're going to do is just, if you want to have a conversation about it with me, here's the link where you can send me a message on my business page. And, ask me questions. I'm happy to answer them. Get clarification. What is initiation going to mean for you specifically? What's going on in your life that, how might the light and how might initiation touch your life? And, I'll share with you the details, the dates, the locations. What I can tell you is the next initiation is going to be June 23rd and 24th, so not this weekend, but next. And my office is located in Brookline. So if you're around Brookline, or you want to travel into Brookline, Massachusetts, that is where the next class will be held. So after everything I've said tonight, you now have 2 choices, right? Life is about choices. So we know now that you have 2 choices if you've watched this webinar. The first is you can do nothing. You just watch the webinar, continue, a lot of people, they seek out spirituality concepts on Google and YouTube, but they're not really cemented in anything, and it's kind of confusing. This person says this, and this person says that, and this guru says this, and this guru says that. I'm not claiming to be a guru. I believe you're your own guru. So basically, you're trying to decipher and figure things out on your own about spiritual concepts, where it's a rocky path, right? Or you can have another choice, which is your second choice. You can go ahead and have the conversation with me. You can sign up for the Empower Thyself initiation. And you can use these time-tested rituals and the sacred initiation to really move forward in your life. Initiation is very old. It's very ancient. There's a lot of teachings that are passed down. And you can use these things to really move forward and not have to figure it out on your own, if that makes sense. Just getting out of your own way enough to be humble enough to be like, oh yeah, you know what, this would really help me for my life. And so now I just want to kind of share my, my heart with you. It's, it's not any secret that the world is really struggling right now. We can turn on the TV. Last week, we saw some terrible deaths and things like that. And, if one by one we can remember our power, right? If each one of us can just take, in some light and really remember our own power and our truth and step into a more purposeful life, that's going to change the world, because by you doing the inside work, it really affects the outside world. And the more joy you're in, the more joy you can spread that to other people. So we all know a lot of people, I've never met anyone that doesn't know too many people who are struggling to get out of their own way, who have so much love and beauty to share. And it just, a lot of times it breaks your heart. You're like, oh, if this person could just, share their gift with the world, or if they could just get out of their own way, what a difference it would make. And so that's why, I got on here and I created this session, because I'm like, there's a way to do that, and it does exist. And, I spent a long time looking for a way that existed to help myself, and then having those results in my own life, and then seeing, the results in my clients' lives that I've shared with you tonight. This is why I'm having this session. This is why I'm here tonight. So, again, if you want to have a conversation with me about initiation, here's the link. Please send me a message. Again, ask me your questions, get clarification on what initiation is going to mean for you. And it's happening next weekend in Brookline. This really wraps it up for tonight. Please feel free to reach out to me. And I look forward to chatting with you soon. Thank you so much for being on tonight.